Hi, heroes! This is the last video of the How to Dream Like Walt Disney for your 2024 New Year's Resolutions series mini course that I've been doing. And this video is all about the doing. We've been dreaming, and now we're going to do. And importantly, I want you to know that you're not alone for doing throughout the year. I've been sharing the statistic that when you have specific accountability appointments for a goal that you're trying to achieve, you are 95% more likely to achieve it. So I want you to know you're not alone, and I want you to know that I've created a community free for you to join that we can have monthly accountability calls where everybody who's been dreaming and doing can share how they're doing, and we can do some coaching to adjust your methods, your tactics, and adjust everything I'm about to share with you, which is the doing. Okay, so the basic outline for the doing is in the last video, I had you vision your end of the year, your December 31st, 2024, and how you would know that you achieved your big dream, right? It was like being very concrete and specific about how your life is different because you've achieved that dream. If it's a money goal, what does your bank account look like? If it's a fitness goal, what are you able to do? Do you get up and you go for a run, right? Or you're looking back at your pictures from the marathon you ran or any of that stuff, right? So how do you know that you've achieved it? So the next part of the doing process is to set smaller milestones throughout the year. And I recommend doing this on a month-to-month basis just because we're doing a month-to-month check-in in that community that I'm created. And so then we can share about those milestones, but you decide what frequency is best for you. I like to do it month to month. And then you can even break it down those month to month smaller into the week to the week. It's up to you, but it's going to be the same process. You can go back to the other video, or you can just set yourself a timer, 5 to 10 minutes, and visualize. So if it's January, February, March, right? Okay, so at the end of January, what does your life look like? How do you know that you are on your way to that end goal, right? And really let yourself, what does waking up in the morning look like? What does eating breakfast? What does having lunch? All of those things, just so you get a big picture, clear picture of what your life is going to look like. Visualization can be really helpful to achieving a goal as well. Okay, so once you've done those smaller milestone settings, whether it's month to month or you choose a different frequency, then you're going to do this process again for the frequency you decide. If you've chosen month to month milestones, I suggest you do it at least for every month. You could then break it down to every week as well. And so here's the steps. You're going to sit down. Okay, first, I can't forget. This is really important. Also, it could be useful for those smaller milestone settings as well. I want you to create a journal called your Impossible Journal. Okay, it's just for this purpose. It's just for as you're achieving this dream, and specifically as you're doing this milestone and calendaring step. Anytime you start to feel negative, whatever that negative emotion is, like self-doubt, defeat, any of those things, I want you to pause. I shared my wand tool. I want you to get out your wand, right? And so the wand stands for, what am I feeling? Allow it. That's just sitting with it in your body, right? Where do I feel it? What does it feel like? What color is it? Anything. Name the thought. All your feelings are caused by your thoughts. So name the thought that is causing the feeling. Now, for the purposes of this journal, you can stop at the name your thought because that's really where we're working. But that D step is really decide who's driving, and that's whether you want to decide whether that current thought is serving you or not. And you can do that. But the most important thing for this impossible journal is naming that thought, because that thought is your obstacle thought, right? That thought is like, so say you're doing a fitness goal, like I want to run a marathon in 2024, which I do. Yeah, I get migraines. This is a big deal from running. So watch out, we're gonna figure it out. um, but so if I'm doing my milestones for that and I start to notice like, oh gosh, I'm feeling a lot of self-doubt and a lot of disbelief, right? Okay, so I'm gonna get my journal out, I'm gonna do my wand, And when I get to the end, name the thought, I'm going to find the thought causing that disbelief, right? Okay, so disbelief, I get migraines. There's no way I can train for 23, 24 miles when I get migraines anytime I run 2 miles, right? So that's my thought. Right then, right when you identify the thought, I want you to come up with a strategy to address it. So my obstacle is my migraines. My strategy right now is to work with a postural therapist. It's been working. That is a strategy I've come up with. I kind of have been doing that throughout 2023 too, but that's still my strategy for 2024. If I need to adjust as I go, I will, if that strategy doesn't seem to be working. But that's my strategy right now, right? And it's really important that you come up with that strategy as soon as you identify that thought, or else your brain's just going to repeat it, right? Repeat it, repeat it. But as soon as you put it down and you have a strategy, you've given your brain a different pathway, like, oh, yeah, I know what I'm going to do about that. Okay, now as you're writing down these strategies, I need you to include them in the next step, which is your big to-do list for each of those milestones. So for January, you visioned what you need, you think your life needs to look like at the end of January to then accomplish your big 2024 resolution. You need to write epic to-do list, right, for January. This is why if you need to break it down into smaller chunks, like weekly chunks, that can be helpful too. If doing a big to-do list for all of January seems overwhelming to you, just go week by week. Listen, the point of this is to get you going. It's not to get you stopped because you are a perfectionist. Guilty, right? Like perfectionism, that's what it does to us. We get nowhere because we're looking for the perfect way to do it. That is not this. This is B minus work. This is doing it, right? So whatever gets you to take that next step, you figure that out, okay? First step, big to-do list of whatever time chunk that you've decided. I recommend month to month, as I've been saying. Big to-do list to get you to that life at the end of January. Next, once you give yourself as much time as you need for this, really, it could take an hour, right? A big to-do list, everything, empty your brain. The point is to get everything out of your brain so it's not spinning. And you can add to it later, right? It's okay, but just try to get everything out. Next step, order the things that you've put on your to-do list. What needs to go first? What needs to go second? What needs to go third? Usually when I'm doing this, more comes out, right? It's like a big topic to do turns into 5 different things that have to happen in a certain order, yeah? Okay, that's fine, that's good. We're working on it, we're getting there. Next step, after you've ordered everything, and this again, best shot, it can be edited. Yeah, it's okay. The point is movement. The point is not perfection. Third step is to do your best to decide on how much time you are going to allot to each of those items. This is really hard for me. My brain wants to offer, it's going to take as much time as it takes. And when I do that, I get much less done and it's still the same quality. Because when you tell yourself, okay, I am only going to spend 10 minutes on this, guess what? Your brain goes to work figuring out how to do it in 10 minutes. If you really believe that you can do it, and it's okay if it takes 15 sometimes, right? Then you know for next time, okay, I need to give myself a little bit more time for that. But again, the point is movement. So just give it your best estimate and put that down next to each of the action items, how much time you think it's going to take for each of them. All right, now the fun part. I love calendaring, okay? Get it in a calendar. Digital, paper, whatever you use, whatever organizational system, right? I love happy planners lately because they have lots of Disney stuff. Yeah, whatever makes you excited, whatever planner works for you. And if you need to adjust month to month, week to week, that's fine. Whatever seems to work for you. Just get it in a planner, put it in order at the time that you've allotted, get it in the planner. The next step is just following what you've already done for yourself. What this does is that you are making all of the decisions that you need to accomplish your goal ahead of time. Then all that's left to do is when that time pops up, just do it. You don't have to spend all that time thinking, what do I need to do right now? What do I need to do right now? It's like, oh, I know exactly what I need to do right now for that goal. And I'm just going to do it. there's not that like back and forth in your head, like, oh, but I don't want to do this. Well, there probably is that back and forth, right? But there's less of it because there's not room within the decision, right? You've made the decision, you know what you need to do. So you're probably still gonna have some back and forth, like, I don't really want to do that right now. Just do it, right? Like just show your brain, I can do these things that I've set myself to do. Okay? That's the process. And again, like the free community, we're here. We're going to work on this throughout the year. We're going to tweak it. We're going to check in because we know that statistic that you're 95% more likely to achieve your goal if you have specific accountability check-ins. That's what this is. You're going to get support from discounts on one-on-one coaching. You're also going to get free journal pages to support your journey, support your fairy tale, and lots of other fun stuff, right? Like great stuff. So if you want to do that, it's there for you. If you don't, that's fine. But this is the last step of that How to Dream Like Disney to set your 2024 New Year's resolutions. This is the doing. This is the end of this email series. So thank you so much for following along. It's been so fun to have you. I can't wait to see what you create in 2024. Thank you.